Let's go ahead and draw this out, what we know. Vertices 0, plus and minus 8, so there's 8 and there's negative 8, so I know that my major happens on the y. The center of mine is the origin, so I have x squared plus y squared equals 1. All I have to figure out is what goes underneath the y and what goes underneath the x. Well, the axis, the distance from here to here is 8. So my a value would equal 8. Well, when I square that, I get 64 underneath the y. So what I know now is I know that my a value is 8. I don't know my b value, and that's going to go b squared underneath the x. And I know my c value is 4. So the equation for focus is c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So I could technically solve for b. C is 4, so I have 4 squared. A is 8. So let's go ahead and simplify this. When I subtract 8 squared to the other side, I get negative b squared equals 48. Negative 48. When I divide both sides by negative 1, I get b squared equals 48. So remember, the equation is a squared over b squared. This is a squared. So I know that 48 goes right there. And there's my equation in standard form. All right, this next one, we got a little bit more going on. What do we know? Well, we know that this goes x squared plus something with a y squared, and that equals 1. We just need to fill in the pieces. The center, the opposite of the x goes here, so a negative 2 would go there. Opposite of y would go there. So now we just have to figure out, well, what is my a's and what is my b? So the center is 2, negative 1. And one thing I know that I have vertices at 2, 1/2. Which means this distance right here has to be the same distance right here to get my other vertice. Well, this distance from the center up is a distance of 1.5. So my a value equals 1.5. So when I take 1.5 and I square it, I get 2.25. It says my minor axis is the length of 2. So the minor axis has to have a length, and this length right here is a total length of 2. Which means from the center out is the length of 1. So b equals 1, and when I square 1, I get 1. So there's my answer. Other ways that this can be written. X minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared over 9/4 equals 1. Or the last way you might see this is when I'm dividing right here, which means I'm multiplying by the reciprocal. The last way you could see it, and they're all the same thing, is make this the reciprocal, and that could be my answer. I would accept this, this, or this as an answer.